win! Jackpot, Kansas City!
It's that time of year between the Super Bowl and March Madness where you're going to see lots and lots of beer commercials. Comedies.
Now, how is that supposed to sell beer?
Cameos.
Okay.
We go way back.
Typical Americans showing up uninvited.
And of course, patriotism.
Just look at them, thinking they can save the world. Typical Americans, always celebrating with their typical American beer. So, next time someone labels you typical,
What are you thinking watching it?
show them what typical can do.
I like the commercial because I'm a proud Bud girl, but I'm gonna tell you sometimes it's annoying because they didn't appreciate all we did to keep that company alive during that time. I started working midnight shift because I had to. I had to for my family. I've been doing it for so long. I've been doing it for the 18 years that I've been at the brewery. I did it for 2 years before that. I probably will retire as a midnight worker. As proud as I am to be an employee of Anheuser-Busch, they are not proud of having me. The workers behind those machines are all American, hardworking people. You show it in a commercial, so now show the appreciation to the ones that are behind the walls that nobody really sees. Yeah, every day, 10 miles there, 10 miles home. 18 years. Back in December, we voted 99% solidarity to strike against the company if we didn't get a just contract. The deadline is February 29th, 11:59. Come March 1st, if we don't have a contract, they don't get beer.
We're just days away from March, and 5,000 brewery workers across the country are prepared to strike. But how did we get here? Let's go back in history.
Where there's life, there's Bud.
No, not that far back. No.
Budweiser's the same great
No.
taste.
Yeah, here. Let's start in the 70s.
So my dad started working at the brewery in 1977. I was 5 years old when he started there. Anheuser-Busch has been part of my life for 47 years. When I was a kid, it was such a big deal, and people used to be like, oh, you must be rich, your dad works at Anheuser-Busch. It was a whole different time. My father was able to support a family of 5, all by himself, when my mother stayed home and took care of us. I started working as a weekender in 2006. My boys were still little, so it was kind of neat to be able to raise them. I was 5 when my dad started the brewery, and they were 5 when I started the brewery. And then I started working full-time in 2008, about 3 months before InBev bought out Anheuser-Busch.
InBev expressing its desire to buy Bud for $65 a share, but this will not likely stay friendly for too long.
In 2008, Anheuser-Busch was swallowed up by a giant private equity firm founded in Brazil called 3G Capital. 3G is famous for making profits by drastically cutting budgets and laying off workers. And from the beginning, workers were skeptical, but cautiously optimistic.
We were very pleased to hear Carlos Brito reinforce the commitment that he and the company made to keeping all the Anheuser-Busch breweries open.
It was weird for me because I was watching something from my family history become so different, and I was worried for the changes that were about to come because of the new ownership.
The workers of Anheuser-Busch in the United States intend to keep the company to its word of keeping those plants open.
This probably will get nasty pretty quickly, but the Brazilians who run InBev have already made the decision to come forward. The financing is there, I'm told, and now it's going to get a lot more interesting.
1,400 U.S. workers lost their jobs in 3G's hostile takeover of Anheuser-Busch in 2008. The company slashed more American jobs in 2015 and 2018, and another 350 last year.
As far as budgets go, instead of fixing problems 100%, there's a lot of, well, let's get it good enough to run. So now you're seeing more snapping chains, you're seeing more problems. The keg line is extremely rusted. Listening to a lot of the older maintenance guys talk, they'll say, why can't we just fix it like we used to? It was too much for the budget.
But it wasn't just Anheuser-Busch. 3G did the same thing in 2010, purchasing Burger King. And in 2015, purchasing Kraft Heinz, followed by more budget cuts and more layoffs. And in that sense, it feels like Lynn's story is typically American.
They're spending $1 billion on stockholder buybacks. They're spending, millions and millions of dollars for a few seconds on a Super Bowl commercial. That's an awful lot of money that could be going towards the workers who work so hard to keep that brewery going. My son started working there in 2022 as a seasonal, and he reached his apprenticeship in 2023. As we go through things at the brewery and I see it change, it means a lot to me that I can say that my son is a third generation Anheuser-Busch worker. And working with him and being able to troubleshoot problems with him together. And then, throughout the night we'll go to break together, we'll sit and we'll giggle and laugh and joke together, and then walking out in the morning, we, wish each other well, and then, send us each other a text message when we got home. And now he's looking at me going, how am I supposed to go on vacation? I can't even afford to live. And just him having to do the apartment, his car, his insurance, his groceries, his electric bill, all this, is no way working at Anheuser-Busch. And he gets very frustrated sometimes, and he'll say to me, Mom, it's not fair that I have to continue to live at home, though I work at the Anheuser-Busch, the king of beers. I work for the king, but I get paid like a peasant. I'm not gonna lie when I tell you I'm very nervous about striking. I am very dedicated and I will strike, but I am very nervous about it. If we don't get what we need to survive in this world, never mind what we want, but what we need, we will be on the streets March 1st.
Thank you so much for watching our video. If you'd like to see more stories like this one, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel to get more Perfect Union in your feed. And if you have any ideas for stories that you would like for us to investigate, just drop them in the comments below.